Welcome back. You're still watching the Afia Morning Show. Thank you for staying with us. Of course, this show reaches you live from Enugu, Nigeria, every weekday at 8 a.m. Now we discuss the recent developments in West Africa as we're seeing Nigeria being propelled into the limelight due to its role in, shall we say, protecting democracy in Benin Republic, when some coup plotters decided that they wanted to overthrow the government and take over power. Now, monitoring this situation closely has been Dr. Ifediora Amobi, who is a public affairs analyst and economist. And today he joins us on the show to share his input on the development so far, as mixed reactions have trailed this move by Nigeria. Some commendations and some are like, we have to balance the local priorities with foreign priorities as well. Dr. Amobi, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. So you have been, following this story. You've seen the developments, commendations for the Nigerian armed forces by Mr. President, and Nigerians also. Some of them are beating their chests and saying they're proud to be Nigerians as a result of this. How do you feel overall about the role of this country in safeguarding the democracy of Benin Republic?
Well, thank you very much. It's quite commendable. Historically, Nigeria has played that role of big brother across the West African sub-region, being one of the leading countries, if not the leader in ECOWAS. It's a role that we have actually played, and it's a role that every other country looks up to us to act and react, most especially when things like this happen under emergency situations. So it's quite commendable that we were able to, respond rapidly and, showcase that Nigeria has that capability to, diffuse tensions anywhere within the West Africa sub-region.
Okay, let me bring a thought to one tweet from David Hunde, because he went berserk regarding this whole trying to quell the coup in Benin Republic, and he stated that a white man, calling the French president Emmanuel Macron, is asking a black man, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, to go bomb another black man. He's talking about the coup in Benin Republic. What do you have to say about, or correlate or relate to this tweet he made on X, calling out President Ahmed Tinubu and also calling out President Emmanuel Macron, ordering or having a conversation with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our president, to go bomb another black man in Benin Republic, similarly, our brothers?
Yeah, well, personally, I think Hussein is just being sentimental about the whole situation. There's nothing wrong in two presidents having a conversation. There's nothing wrong in one president reaching out to his counterpart, anywhere in the world for assistance, whether it's financial, military support, or any other type of assistance that they require. And so, whether it was Macron who made the call or whether it was, President Talon who made the call from Cotonou, it didn't really matter. The fact is that, like I said earlier on, based on our perceived role in West Africa, we are in a situation where, they didn't call Guinea-Bissau, they didn't call, Senegal, they called Nigeria. And Nigeria responded rapidly. And so I don't really, I wouldn't really put too much weight on, whether Macron was a white man or, a black man. All those ones are actually irrelevant at this time.
Okay, so now coming to the situation in Nigeria versus in other countries across West Africa, one question that has been on my mind has been, how is it that Nigeria is, it's a country that over the years we've not seen a lot of these threats, or at least in recent times, we've seen some coups being recorded, but somehow even the most recent coup in Nigeria was foiled. So what is it exactly that you think makes Nigeria stand out from other West African countries that in recent times are prone to these coup plots, and many of them being quite successful. And judging by Nigeria's input in this one in Republic of Benin, do you see Nigeria withstanding any attempted coup plots in the future?
Well, yeah. See, the ECOWAS has had its own problems with most, especially francophone, countries in terms of coups and attempted coups. Fingers have been pointed at France, given the fact that they have played a role that wasn't really in the interest of those countries over time. And so what we're seeing is a reaction across, most especially that Sahel region, against the French imperial strong hand on them, and they are rebelling. Now ECOWAS as a region has to really work towards ensuring that these coups do not happen. We strongly, we don't support coups. It is even part of the ECOWAS protocol. And, people have actually expressed their concern whether President Tinubu acted unilaterally or whether he was supposed to have gotten approval from the National Assembly before sending out, both troops as well as the Nigeria Air Force to Benin Republic. And he acted legally, basically because there's part of the ECOWAS security charter. I think it's either section 25 or thereabout, that states that a country can, if a member country invites another member country for assistance, whether it is militarily or any other way, they should respond. Now, and then you have, I think it's about seven days to now get approval from your own Congress. Mm-hmm. So I think that letter has been transmitted to the National Assembly. Given that coups just happen, there's no time to start going through that process before you can deploy military hardware. And so the president acted within the legal framework of the ECOWAS security protocol, and should be commended.
Okay, so also critics, there've been argument back and forth right there on the digital media and whatnot, right? That, the Nigerian government and military can swiftly sweep into action and quell a coup in Benin Republic. But back home here, we've been suffering from insurgency for over decades now, right? Since 2009. And nothing literally has been done to quell totally these insurgents. That, what could actually be the reason why it was swift for Nigerian military to go into Benin Republic and quell a coup, but at our back door here, we have been suffering, and this insurgency is persistent, and nothing has been done up until today to quell it totally?
Well, there are significant differences between the root causes of both scenarios. In our own situation, there is, and it has been talked about, whether it's in traditional media or social media, of complacency. And so, in a situation where you have very, very prominent people, prominent groups, prominent organizations or interests in our own insecurity situation, you find that it is also difficult to tackle that because you don't know which big toes you're going to be stepping on as you go along. For Benin Republic,
all right,
we were coming in as an independent. We're just going in to take care of a situation that had occurred. Yes. And we did that swiftly. And we have the same capability to do it at home if the conditions were the same. But unfortunately, we're still trying to resolve our own internal problems first before we can solve it.
I mean, you have, as always, narrowed down the issues to something that we can all hold on to now, a certain reason. Of course, you are saying that the situation in Nigeria could be explained in response to Audrey's question as complacency and possible corruption, because some people don't want to step on the toes of other people. And I think those are two key areas that we need to address together as a country. Thank you, Dr. Amobi, for joining us on the show this morning. Pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Pleasure's mine.